dimension.
Hello and good evening, one and all, to what is the second round of the QRT Multiclass Team Cup Jet of 2024 here. We're finishing off week 2 of season 2. Sorry for the delayed start, a couple of technical difficulties. I can tell you we are in qualifying for the second round and the GT3s are out on track, but it's a quick introduction. Tom, welcome back. Apologies for the delay.
Oh, it's no worries at all. We started the week here at Zolder in the Formula Truck Racing oNiD, Formula Truck oNiD. I can't say it. The Formula Truck Championship. We saw times in the 150s. I think today will be more down into the 128s. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Amazing stuff. Just briefly before we go to the track, let's go over the standings from round 1. Team standings so far: F&M GT3 leading the way with 96 points. Only Racing Stronger following close with 93. Fry Guys and Motorsport in third in the GT4s. Top 3 Connexus, 108 points for GT4. Very good showing there for Connexus in the GT4 class. Walkissers in P2 for 96 points, and oNiD Racing number 9 and 88 points for the GT4 team standings. For the driver standings from last round, there was minus points on the team sheet as well, so I did get minus points last round in the team, which is interesting. GT3 class lead currently being led by Gregory Ivanov, David Grains, then Matt High, your top 3 for GT3s. Alex Shahabi in first position for the GT4s. Tycho Hoffmans, then Ben Brown for the top 3 in the driver standings for the driver GT4 class. So, as we now go live to the circuit with qualifying well underway, Ivanov top of the times for the GT3 class as it stands, closely followed by Kurbanov and then Grains for F&M. And yes, that was a very quick intro to the stream, much more quicker than I hoped or ever thought it would be this evening. But we are here live and we are just about 3 minutes after GT3 qualifying. And breathe.
Yeah, and well, we've kind of started how we left off at Laguna Seca. Actually, I say that Ivanov just beaten to pole position there by Grains in the F&N Honda NSX. So yep. Where we just left off, but both teams were. Well, I think we saw the Hondas at the top of the times during qualifying last time out, and well, we had the Ferrari 1-2 by the end of the session. So it looks like the same contenders at the front of the field here at Zolder.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting away with it is Honda actually is getting away with a good lap time there, and storming ahead with about 0.3 of a second ahead. Behind them, it's quite closely tight in the third, fourth, fifth positions. Only about a tenth between those guys, or a tenth and a bit. Looking down the field, we have 7th, 8th pretty close. So again, quite close times between everyone, and all GT3s have, I do believe, set a valid lap. No other GT3s there, and the rest of the drivers' GT4s are waiting for their go orders when the qualifying clock hits 15 minutes.
And the good thing about this for the FNN guys, this is the car the team of the two cars that is currently leading the team's championship by 3 points. So it's good that at least one of them is on pole position. His teammate is, let me just, his teammate is Michael Formato, and he's down in 5th position. So both cars in the top 5. Current team's championship leader is not a bad session at all for those two.
No, not in the slightest. So they'll see what they can do. They had a very eventful Laguna Seca, let's say, last time out. A couple of those guys getting caught up in some of the slower traffic. But just looking at my timing suites, no one's improving as it stands. Everyone's just going around the circuit. The other two FNM drivers, 12th and 13th as it stands. So they'll look to potentially improve in the dying moments of this qualifying, although Angelo FNM in 12th on an invalid lap, but McLeod in 13th on a valid lap. He's about to come to the line and improves up to 9th. So good showing from them. Lots of FNM drivers. 5 of them in a GT3 class. 1, 2, no, I can't math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them in the GT3 class. So fantastic showing for those guys in what is a very dominated team. A very dominating team here compared to the other drivers. 15 minutes is about to hit, so the GT4s will shortly go out to us. Oh, that's a stopped car. That was mighty close to Gregory Ivanov. He is on a lap as it stands, going purple actually. So he may.
What I was going to say, this is back-to-back pole positions if he can keep the speed up for the remainder of this lap.
Yeah, it would be, absolutely. Just going to keep an eye on. He's going purple, actually. We'll jump on board as he continues his lap. I do believe, actually, don't hear any sound for the cars. Let's try and change that. Glorious technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, sorry, I did realise that, but I thought it was just my stream, so I would have told you.
Nope, that's...
But anyway, Gregory Ivanov goes on to pole position by only 0.027, so at the moment it looks like it's back-to-back pole positions, and by the looks of it, a lot of drivers coming into the pit lane, so it doesn't look like anyone is really out there to challenge him, so it looks like Gregory Ivanov goes back-to-back pole positions, but do remember he does have that 20 seconds extra in the pit lane for success ballast after winning last time out at Laguna Seca.
Indeed. So success penalties, not ballast, not weight, but penalties in time. Genelec gets to the line, I think just improved there. He's on a lap, should I say. He's about to finish it. So we'll see him come to the line and see if he can improve from P12. And indeed he doesn't, stays P12. Improves time, but not position. I think that is everyone. And now it is the turn of the GT4s.
And nice to see a Camaro. I'm not sure if the Red Bull's car was out last time. I could be mistaken, but it's very nice to see something just a little bit American out on the circuit. I think our only team running the Ford Mustang in the GT3 standings has been disqualified, being CWD. So it's nice to see something with a little bit of that American grunt currently going around the circuit, and we'll have to see what Matt Jordan can produce from this lap time. Currently they're on -5 points in the team's standings. So we'll have to see what they're made of as they come here. Good turnout today. I think that's around 36 cars in the field. 33 confirmed they were attending earlier as well. So a good turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. We will see what they can do. But for now, looking like we are getting some times on the board. I think this will be the first
predicting
valid
around.
lap.
I'm predicting based off last time we were here with the Xbox Series in the GT4s. They were saying around 1 minute 36 is 0.825. So we'll have to see if they. It should be around that area, probably maybe a little bit quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. So we shall see if these guys can, or see if the Camaro can hold its own. It is a, let's try and get just the GT4 times. There we go on your left side of the screen. 136.8 for Matt Jordan. Collier, there is another Camaro in the GT4 class, goes in behind him, but Dan Tomlinson, oh there we go, Hoffman's the fastest lap in the McLaren GT4. Again, not to everyone's taste, only 1 or 2 GT4 McLarens in the field this evening. Mostly Janettis and Aston Martin's taking the taken to the track in this class.
Yeah, and Thiago Hoffman's was the last pole sitter last time out again, so it could be another back-to-back pole sitter as we currently stand at 1 minute 36.177, and the next driver, Alex Shahabi, well, half a second off of that lap time, so Thiago Hoffman's seems to be set up pretty well around Zolder and will want to claim that back-to-back pole position. And something else I think we brought up last time as well, interesting that no one's gone for the Mercedes. We saw how quick they were last time, and the highest one currently 4th with Ben Brown driving.
Indeed, Ben Brown in the Racing Stronger oNiD car. I usually find him in a Ginetta, which is quite unusual for him, but that rear of the car bouncing up and down like a pogo stick as he goes across the curbs of the first chicane. But making it work, he is on a lap, not improving as it stands. Of just over 10 minutes to go, every GT4 car has set a valid lap, apart from Johnny Ashley, who I can tell you is about to come across the line now, and does now set a valid lap time of a 1 minute 38.
So, quite interestingly as well, it's quite a close battle between oNiD Racing #9 and Sherlock Automotive RS, the Ben Brown team we were just talking about. Only 3 points separates the pair of them so far in the championship.
Keep an eye on those. But, sorry, apologies. I am taking on board the fact you're telling me, and I absolutely love them. And just keep an eye on the timing screen. Martin Thorpe's on a good lap. This will be quite a nice improvement for him. He goes up to 3rd in class. A brilliant lap there from Martin Thorpe. Connexus Motorsport, again a familiar name to the oNiD community, bringing it back in the GT4 class this time round. I do believe they have a GT3 entry, but for now Martin put in that Aston Martin GT4 in 3rd position.
Yeah, and that's very good for their team's championship, currently leading in the GT4s, and well, they currently fill out the 2nd row of the grid, so a nice strong team performance from the pair of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just looking up again, just looking at the time screen, Thorpe is back on. Oh dear lord! Almost turned that into a motorcycle there, going up into 2 wheels.
Yeah, he looked like he was struggling into the braking zone. He braked a little bit on the grass, which I think pushed him to more of the centre part of the circuit and made him go a little bit offline into that section.
Quite potentially. We are just going to quickly jump up to our pole sitter, who's just invalidated. Oh, that was commentator's curse at its finest. Was up by about 0.2 of a second. Might have been the first man into the 135s. It wasn't to be. He'll abandon a lap and promptly return to the pits, I do reckon. As we are now. Again, just no one really blistering or lighting up my timing screen. And we are... I think quite a few cars are back to the pits, get fresh tyres, fresh fuel. Bearing in mind, 5 tyre sets for the whole session. They can get away with using a spare tyre set here for qualifying. They do need to make a mandatory pit stop with a tyre change, so they will need to, if they want to have 2 fresh sets for the race, they'll have to only use 2 sets here for qualifying if they want to have 2 cracks at setting a fast lap. But for now, everything's looking calm. I say that hesitantly. It's been nothing but calm for the past on last week's round, but we'll certainly see if they can do anything. These guys can improve their times in any way whatsoever, but nothing as of yet.
Yeah, and that's probably good for Tygo Hoffman's though, to hear that, as we saw, threw away potentially a quicker lap time. And well, it doesn't, as you said, no one really in this session has been able to get too close to him. Actually, I do say that though, Ben Brown has made his way ahead of Alex Shahabi, so has stolen that consensus second row of the grid. Can Alex Shahabi respond now as he comes out of the final corner, as he roars up towards the start-finish line? Let's see if Shahabi can take back that second row of the grid. He can, and he goes faster than Martin Thorpe as well.
That is a good lap. However, Ben Brown is improving, about to come to the line himself. I don't think it's going to be enough to get back past Shahabi, but does get past Thorpe.
So he's up there to upset the party again. Is Ben Brown, and can Thorpe respond? Yes, he can. And we've basically just done a full flip again. It's Martin Thorpe, Alex Shahabi, and Ben Brown all in the same order again. Probably a bit frustrating for poor Ben after he had overtaken the pair of them at one stage. But yeah, no, sadly back down to 5th position. But still 5 minutes 45 seconds to go in this session. And one driver that needs to find that just little margin of extra time is Max Jordan, as we follow him in the Red Bull's Camaro. And he only has 0.033 to find in this lap time, so only the smallest of margins, but can also be lost very easily when he's trying to find it now. As he now comes out of the final corner, comes up towards the start-finish line. Will it be an improvement for Matt Jordan to go on to pole position? No, it won't.
Not yet. He has another crack at it. He hugs the wall there on entry to turn 1.
Yeah, oh gosh, right on the limit there, right on the edge of the outside rumble strip there, and he's really pushing for this, whatever he can find from this lap time.
No, absolutely. He's not improving. He's down on the first sector. However, Shahabi's about to come to the line. Was briefly going purple, quickest of them all. Comes to the line. It's going to be close. It's so close between the top 3. There's nothing, absolutely nothing separating them. Yeah,
just just all under a tenth of a second away from one another. And they've still got 4 minutes 27 seconds to go in this session. The time can still so easily be found, and I'm sure Alex Shahabi will prefer a front row start compared to a second row one. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, Johnny's made his way back to the pit lane. It's currently in 8th position in class.
It's showing him in the middle of the circuit, so I'm just thinking Johnny actually may be having some problems. That's very interesting. He is back in the pits officially, so it might just be a bit of a glitch, but interesting. It shows him off literally at the first chicane. How very random. Anyway.
It's probably also worth mentioning though, so we've got Matt Jordan at the top of the times here for in his Chevrolet for the Red Bulls Racing, but then Collier is all the way down in 11th position, so not great from a team's perspective this qualifying session. You've got really taking the good with the bad. He comes up towards the line now. Let's see if he can find any sort of improvement. Currently 2 seconds off.
No, he doesn't, sadly.
Yeah, so still has 3 minutes to go, but not having the same sort of session that his teammate is at the moment. But I am loving this Le Mans inspired Garage 56 livery on the Camaro.
Yes, however, Hoffman's is going purple. The pole sitter is finding more time.
Well, we knew he had it in him. We saw it earlier in the session, and he just threw it away coming out of the final the final chicane. So it's all about this section. Can he keep it on the circuit through here? It looks all right for the setup. He now just has to keep it on the circuit, and he's done it easily. He hasn't run wide at all. So Thiago Hoffman's up towards the start-finish line. Will he improve his pole margin?
He does.
Yes, he will by 0.4 of a second, 0.410. Thiago Hoffman's is on fire.
Oh, absolutely incredible. And I don't think anyone's getting near it. That's the thing.
Well, for Alex Shabi, it was last time in his regular season's championship. I believe one of his main rivals was Peter Jelinek in the McLaren, and he's come to this championship. It's not Peter Jelinek, it's Thiago Hoffmann's, but it's still a McLaren being the thorn in the side of his championship at the moment. As we now follow Aidan Oak, he's currently in 7th position and is 1.310 off of the pole time, but it's not much separating himself and 6th position's Daniel Tomlinson. So we'll have to see if he can find a little bit of time.
Giving a flash of the lights to his teammate, asking, please get out of the way, I want to go have a clean lap. And indeed does oblige. You can tell the difference between the two cars. It's got the yellow decals and the green decals on the different cars of Aidan Oak. And the other Connectress Motorsports driver, I think it's Alex Shahibi, isn't it? Car 55? I do believe. No, it's not. Ignore me. Martin. No, not Martin Thorpe. There's 3 Connectresses. This is going to be confusing. Anyway, it doesn't take much to confuse you folks. Good evening, Peter Jelinek and Dave Wood. That Camaro isn't a patch on my Trump Camaro. Well, I don't know how to answer that. Luckily, you always die a death when you drive a Camaro. No, let's not get into that. No, I'm opening a can of worms I do not want to open. As checkered flag is only about 30 seconds away for these guys, and no one's able to challenge Hoffmann's as it stands. He is the only driver in the 135s for this qualifying session. Shahibi is mighty close, only 200ths away from getting into the 35s, but he's got another 2/10 to find after that to actually challenge Tygo for pole. Matt Jordan in 3rd in the Red Bull's Camaro definitely has a very good showing for him, but again, it's just a class of his own is Hoffmann's at the minute.
And he doesn't have, he's not got the worst success penalty either. He's only got 10 extra seconds in the pit lane compared to Alex Shahabi's 20 seconds. So in a good spot in terms of those two battling at the front of the field. Matt Jordan, obviously, I don't remember him being at the last round of Laguna Seca, so will have no success penalty coming into this race in the pit lane. So even though he finds himself 4 attempts off of the pole time, finds himself in a good position in terms of the race if he can compete with Thiago Hoffmann's and Alex Shahabi's race pace.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what the Camaro can do. It's just a question of if it will do and if it will be able to. So checkered flag is however now waving. Hoffmann doesn't improve his time and goes into the pit lane. Shahibi can't improve. The only Jordan on a lap, should I say, the only person on a lap is Jordan, but he abandons the lap and goes into the pit lane. What's Daniel Tomlinson doing of oNiD Racing?
Stays out, so obviously...
That was a mistake, and that will definitely be his lap completely over, and it's only Collier to finish his lap. He is up on his lap actually. He's only got a couple more turns to go. Can he hold that advantage? No, he loses it as he exits the final chicane. We'll come to the line and we'll finish the session. It doesn't improve. Right.
So that was an interesting qualifying session, but no real changes to the front of the field. Both Thiago Hoffmann's and Ivan, my head's gone. Gregory Ivanov taking back-to-back pole positions so far in this series. So both of them ones being to look out for.
Yeah, absolutely. As we just wait for everyone to go to start grid, indeed I do. Shall we do? I love our little grid walks, don't we?
Yes, I think you shall do one.
I shall do one. Indeed, I will. Let's go for... What am I doing? Not that. I'm clicking places and not working. There we go. Now we're back.
There we go.
We see the bottom right. Success penalties being added for the cars. 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. High, Grains and Ivanov from last race. But let's do our grid war. Ivanov on pole, Grains in second. He is. Let's go. Elmar Kurbanov in third. Buckley in fourth. Maiko Formato in fifth. Timothy Jadubal in sixth. Both F&M drivers. Seventh is Matt High. Chris Martin in eighth. Van Oosten in ninth. McLeod in 10th. Ralph Vest 11th. Peter Janlek in 12th. Oliver Knowles in 13th. Thomas Angelo in 14th. Nick Manders 15th. Andy King 16th. Josh Grush in 17th. John Lloyd 18th. Marco Lipozenic in 19th. Noel Doige in 20th. And then bring up the rear of the GT3 class is Taika Orwazik. I'm going to butcher that completely, in 21st. And Terrell Hubbard 22nd. Tycho Hoffmans is your pole sitter to the GT4. Shahabi second in GT4. Matt Jordan in the NASCAR there in third. Martin Thorpe in fourth. Ben Brown fifth. Daniel Tomlinson sixth. Aidan Oak in seventh. Johnny Ashley eighth in class. Luke Sherlock ninth. Rayshawn Thompson in 10th. Arakon Collier in 11th. Luke Swinkles in 12th. Greg Prescott 13th. And Alex Parkin round up the back of the field. And last place in GT4 class in 14th position.
And there we go. That is the field. And, well, Gregory Ivanov yet again leads our field away for the formation lap, just ahead of 1 hour racing here around Zolder. And what I wanted to mention as well is that we probably should keep an eye out for his teammate, Elmar Kurbanov, as well. Obviously, we speculate connection difficulties last time out, which really cost him after their 1-2 and really has hindered their team championship starts. They went the time where they had that connection failure. They were 1-2 in the race, and now they currently only find themselves in 5th in the championship when they could have easily been leading after Laguna Seca. So I think, what Elmar Kurbanov is going to be one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, absolutely. We are, however, going to await these guys to finish off their laps. Not laps, their formation, not laps, should I say formation laps? What am I saying laps for? It's only one single lap for formation lap. I am losing the plot tonight, folks. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. Multi-class go, says Matt Holman. Absolutely. And Apex, yes. Gotta love being confused by teammate liveries. You absolutely right.
When I read that, I don't know, the Thunderbirds music just started playing in my head.
Oh dear. I can appreciate the comment.
Yes. I don't know if I can sing it. I don't know if that gets us claimed. But I don't know how that works. Anyway.
Wait, I was singing for a stream, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, I suppose that's fine then.
I'll let you off. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I
think I've left it too late now. Anyway.
You've left a moment too late. God damn it, Tommy. The opportunity's come and gone. As anyway, the field now will go into double file as Ivanov and Grays will go side by side for the start of the GT3 class. The GT4s will promptly be doing the same thing behind. And we are almost go for what will be round 2 of the oNiD QRT Multi-Class Team Cup as you get to the line, and it's green drive through for 406 out of position. That's the pole sitter, Ivanov.
Well, that is disastrous after the issues I previously mentioned for them last time with Elmar Kurbanov going out. That is not how they wanted to start this race to recover their team's championship. And a little bit of contact between the leading two. Grains goes through into the lead for FNM. And, well, this has been a bad start for Luke Oil Racing Esports. And, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That is far from ideal. And that is going to hurt not just Ivanov's standings, but the team standings as well for for the Luke Oil Racing Esports. He's still going to go at him. He gets a run at the leader now. Drive-through or not, they're going to still fight for position. He will have to serve that drive-through in 3 laps time. There is contact behind, massive crash, yellow flag. And it is Petr Genelec and trying to get at him as he drops down the order. But finds himself all the way down into the GT4 class. Let's have a look as we can see if we can see what happened with Petr. You get to if you get to the replay, fighting alongside one of the BMW, it's a Fry Guys Motorsport car. Goes over the curb and he loses it himself, and someone the car 72 does it in sympathy as well.
Yeah, well, it's the Olympics at the moment, and that seemed like a bit acrobatic, in sync. I can't think of it like some sort of gymnastics move. My head's died. But anyway, not a great
spinning.
That's like it. But it reminds me of synchronized swimming. Is that a thing? I don't know. Anyway, Petr Genelec going out of the final corner, and oh look, this is not what he wanted to see. He's got a pack of GT4 cars all over the circuit on the start-finish straight as he comes into the braking zone. Currently overall 28th position, not last in his class. John Lloyd in the 72 Fry Guys BMW, I think we saw go off with him, is currently down in 33rd position.
We saw that was another incident at the start. Fear Nothing Moto. Having an instant there as a car spun in the background, car 12. Oh, there's an even bigger shunt in the background. And we are going to we'll go back to live photos in a moment because there has been another instant live. Matt Jordan, Martin Thorpe coming together. And that is one of the top qualifiers. Matt Jordan dropping down the order.
And he was in such a good position as well. He was really set up to he was set up to be in a great position to take on the leaders for the race win. And we'll have to wait and see what happened here because he didn't have any success penalty. So let's see.
I think GT3s are involved potentially. He goes wide off the grass. Oh, that's massive! And that was Martin Thorpe as well getting involved into the barrier.
Yeah, that was them trying to go 3 wide into turn 4, and that's never going to go. That's a 1-car corner.
It is, absolutely. Ivanov still not served his drive-through in the GT3 class. Everything now looks to have calmed down a little bit, but that is going to upset the apple cart.
What I was going to say, what he can try and do is help his Luke Oil Racing Esports teammate Elmar Kurbanov by trying to get ahead of Grains here and then slowing down and backing him up into his teammate. That's the great thing about this championship. Instead of 2 drivers in 1 car, we've got 2 drivers in 2 drivers in 2 cars, and they can really use the strategy to help them. And I think this is what they've really got to try and do here. But he's going to have to serve that drive-through soon.
Yes, indeed. You have to send it. You have to send it. No, don't send it. You'll have to serve it by the end of this lap.
I mean, he could send it, but I don't think it'd end well, and yeah, it wouldn't be a great image for Luke Oil Racing Esports if he did send it. But yeah, no, obviously deciding not to, and we'll have to wait and see. See what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. As it stands, he will dive into the pits. Oh, mate! Oh, dear God!
That is it is a bit of an awkward pit road there, obviously on the racing line, and well, compared to where the drivers are braking for the corner, compared to the pit lane, is just that little bit different. Anyway, championship leader in the drivers' standings is into the pit lane. This is not a good round 2 for Gregory Ivanov, dropping to 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, a little bit of break, 15th. He's just going to keep plummeting like a rock in a deep sea.
Oh, it's a big crash!
Oh! That's massive. That's one of the FNM cars, one of the McLaren stats, Tyler McLeod. And who's this as well? Noel Doidge having some livery issues as well there. And not used to seeing that car in white. And another Porsche as well. I think that might be Nick Manders.
Dear Lord, what happened here? Let's have a look. We'll go to Helicam. Oh, that's a very quick replay. There we go. As you'll get an aerial view of what happened to these drivers. They go down to turn 1. There's a contact up ahead. And then it's just a chain reaction.
Yeah, and well, there's a lot of cars out in the space of 1 corner. Good job rejoining though. And actually, I'd say that Noel Doidge just hits the clean chicane.
Did indeed. I'm going to try and figure out who that was up ahead that got caught up in what looked to be a bit of an accordion effect. I think it's car 111. Potentially Ollie Knowles.
He has got damage on the front of that car by the looks of it.
Let's have a look, and I think it was. Let's go to Helicam, and I think this was the cause of that absolute colossal pile-up. Car on the inside, number 7 car, and then it's absolutely clattered.
It was a massive chain reaction between all of them. The McLaren goes into the back of the crash in front of him, and then it's bonk, 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 bonk.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing anyone could have done there. It was just unfortunate situation. Wrong place, wrong time. But definitely a chain reaction of events there that didn't help any of the drivers going through that turn 1.
And yeah, just looking in chat, a lot of people are upset to see Petty Jelinek have a bad first lap for himself going off of the clean chicane, and that seems to be the spot at the moment on circuit that's challenging our drivers most. One issue is you can quite easily go off there, and then 2, if you're offline, you do just jump over the chicane, you are going to then find yourself losing the time heading up the hill as well. So we follow Oliver Knowles, currently in 14th position. Not great for the Prototypo guys anyway. We come to Aidan Oak, who's currently running in about 5th position in his class.
Yes, indeed. I thought it would best give some attention to the GT4 drivers. They're actually quite close on the battle. Shahibi's leading the way. Hoffman's dropped from the lead. So pole sitter Togo Hoffmans has been overtaken by Shahibi, but behind him there's this train of cars from 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Both owned racing drivers, Sherlock Automotive of Racing Stronger, both teammates in 3rd and 4th with Aidan Oak and Daniel Tomlinson. Aidan Oak being Apex Driver School, should I say. With Daniel Tomlinson of Team oNiD behind him. Bit of a train of cars forming as you have a yellow flag waved. That is Simon. What happened to Simon there? I think he's being lapped. I have a feeling this might have been him, them and themselves causing an incident, and there's faster cars potentially behind him getting the pass and lapping him already. Such a torrid race so far, and indeed rear steps out, spins round, holds the brakes enough just to get out of the way, and was able to rejoin.
Yeah, not good for Tyko. And it's Greg Ivanov, he's gone off. After he's been trying to recover, he's been claimed by the clean chicane again, and oh dearie me, championship leaders having a nightmare.
From bad to worse. Ivanov falling foul to the curbs at the first chicane, and he goes into the chicane, goes over one, goes over another, and then rear goes, no, don't like that, what are you doing?
Oh, and then in frontwards as well, not good.
No, absolutely. And the damage on that car, he's going to have to take him. He's also got a success penalty of 20 seconds still outstanding. This is the worst nightmare situation for Gregory and the Luca Oil Racing Esports. He'll have to wait for the pit window to open before he can come in and make the mandatory pit stop, tyre change, 20-second penalty, and potentially damage too.
And the thing is, with them, it just seems when one of them has a great race, as Elmar Kurbanov, as what I think, I'm not sure where he currently is, currently in 2nd. That's a great result for himself. When one of them has a good race, it seems the other one's race just absolutely plummets. They find themselves having issues. That's another issue. That's one of the FNM cars. Is that McLeod? No, that's Josh Grush. Oh dearie me, he was up in 8th position, has already dropped to 14th, now 15th.
He's got to be careful not to drive backwards too far, otherwise the game will disqualify him. He needs to find a gap. Indeed he does.
The bad thing as well, this team was 4th in the team's championship, so that's not gonna be good for their championship host teammates to Timothy Jabendel.
Mm-hmm. The curbs at the chicane claims another. Was there contact? No. Takes to the curb and the car doesn't like it. Almost makes contact. And the BMW had to take avoiding action as well there. But lives to fight another day.
We've seen that with a few of these cars at the moment. We follow Josh Grush, and he finds himself now with Gregory Ivanov at the back of the field. So, yeah, a few quick runners not having a good race at all, really.
No, not at all. And he's going to get bad for worse. He's now got Gregory Ivanov, who's obviously going to be a bit steaming from his incidents. Going to try and send it up the inside of turn 2.
I think you saw that there as well. He gave him I'm pretty sure he just gave him a bump at the rear end there. So Ivanov obviously feeling he's a lot quicker than Josh Grush in the FNM McLaren. Can he find his way through? He's not going to find it into the cleanest chicane. It's going to, well, I mean, that would be a move and a half. Maybe if you hit the curb hard enough, you could jump over him. But apart from that, I don't see anything moves happening into here. You can see he's much stronger on the brakes, and he takes much more of the chicane there.
Oh, just lost Tom there, but yes.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, absolutely. Did lose you there mid-sentence, but we got the gist of your point there. As oh, did not mean to do that. That's what I meant to do. As Ivanov still behind Josh, he's probably going to try and make a move into final hairpin. I keep clicking off, and I don't mean to. I can tell you to move there side by side. And Josh is going to have the outside line into the final chicane. Inside line will go to Luke Oil driver. And indeed, is that move done? A lot of curve initially, but I think he gets that all done and dusted.
So both of these guys now, maybe Josh Grush just will have to, instead of fighting back, maybe just follow Gregory Ivanov for a few laps, trying for both of them to try and get something out of this race. Anyway, Wilbert van Oezenen currently running in 12th position, and is seventh in the championship currently. So maybe a little bit out of position, but only in round 2 at the moment. So obviously the championship's going to change a lot. I know that's another issue for Simons there. What's gone on with him? He seems like he's just lost it again, has Ty Kalowicz.
Potentially, he's going to go around into turn 2. Yep, just himself and them. Sadly, the Porsche can tend to be a bit tail happy.
Yes, it can be. It's a very slidey car, and it doesn't seem like Ty Kalowicz is having a great time in it so far, but is still ahead of the GT4s though, and can still make some inroads. Anyway, we come to Thomas Angelo here in the FNM car, currently being overtaken down the inside by Oliver Knowles, and trying to go for the switch back here into turn 2. Knowles covers him off though, and that looked like a pretty simple move for Knowles as he gets a little bit sideways though. Has to save the car, runs wide, and that's going to give an opportunity to Thomas Angelo here again. He's up the inside and he's got the move done again, and that's going to be pretty costly time-wise for Oliver Knowles, because it's going to at least be another couple of corners before he can try and do anything again.
Nope, absolutely. He will, no doubt, try and create the gap to the Porsche now, and I think the Porsche being quite unsettled, certainly around this track, well, I'll say that, the Porsche is able to close the gap once more. Might have just ate my own words there, but we have got the GT4s now being lapped, and that's caused a bit of a headache for Marco there of Berkeley, with the Berkeley team. No livery on the car, sadly, so you'll have to adjust that. But look at this, that's allowed the McLaren to catch. He's going to be boxed in a little bit here. That's going to allow the McLaren and the Porsche to get by. There's contact between the two Porsches, but Tiger Hoffman is quite rightly just sticking to the racing line, and Marco's lost 2 positions. Yeah,
Marco Lepo-Zenchik really caught napping there by the 2 cars running behind him, and easy moves for the pair of them there for Angelo and Knowles. So Knowles dispatching that Jeanette pretty quickly as well. So Marco Lepo-Zenchik has really got to try and put Oliver Knowles back under some pressure, and actually Knowles has lost out a little bit as well to the car up ahead of him. Anyway, Timothy
Jadabul is catching Formato. in the teammates here. Different cars, but they are still technically racing for the same team here. I do wonder if potentially they're going to do a bit of team orders.
Yeah, championship-wise, the car running up ahead of Maiko Formato is the championship leader, so probably the points-wise it would benefit them to have him ahead. But if the car behind of Jabudal does find himself being a lot quicker, I feel like they should let him past.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see. For now, they have got a GT4 coming up ahead of them, and Formato will be the first one to have to try and get past them. Has been a bit of an incident for 6th and 7th in the GT4 class. Bit of contact between Parkin and Jordan. Let's see. Oh, hello.
That is a crowd.
That is quite a crowd. That's a BMW cutting it in and out of Luke Sherlock and Matt Jordan there. And indeed, difficult to overtake around here in the best of times. But GT4 is just sticking to lines, not being quite predictable in the way they drive and allowing fast cars to go around. But there's some speculative moves there. And the Camaro signalling to the left side to let people know that he's going to try and stick to the left.
It hasn't worked for Oliver Knowles. Two cars now separate himself and the McLaren up ahead. And, well, luckily he's got to move down now. And, oh, Matt Jordan looking for a move there on Alex Parkin now. Good looks to go around the outside into turn 7. Will hit the brakes now and has the inside line. The Janetta turns in. They make contact. Janetta skips the chicane and carries on and will hold the position.
Absolutely fair for him to do so. I don't think the Camaro really had much of a chance to make a move there.
And, well, it's getting tricky for these GT4 guys to make a
move.
move.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, absolutely, because they've got GT3s all around and wanting to get past. Such a tight and twisty, narrow track at times. Oh, it's more contact! Oh.
He's really trying to shove that big front end just into gaps that aren't... He's made contact, he's hit Parkin sideways. He's gathered it all up, though, and Matt Jordan gains the position, but surely... Oh, that's going to be looked at. That is definitely going to be looked at.
15, they've got some live stewarding this evening. Got a penalty for Chris Martin, car 13, 8th place in GT3. So he'll have to serve that at his next pit stop. Don't quite know what it's for, but a penalty has been given. I do think the stewards will be looking into potentially car 296 there. No, just have a look. Car 12's got picked up a penalty as well. Car 12 is Andy King GT3 class, P14 overall. But yeah, these GT4s are really getting it on. And then again, penalties coming thick and fast. A 107 penalty as well. That's a 30-second penalty.
I have the format. Do you want me to read out why the penalty?
Yes, please do.
So car 12 released brake pressure, causing them to run into the back of car 28. And then after initial, and then for 107, after initial contact with car 107, applies throttle, causing further avoidable contact with car 9. So seen as dangerous driving. And then car 15 missing its braking point and rear-ending the car ahead. So that's car 228 that's been given a 15-second penalty for.
Gotcha, and that 15-second penalty 228 has just popped up. Prescott was off the road very briefly for one reason or another, car 91. I had to see if it was anything to do with maybe lapping traffic, or if it was just a kind of slap himself in the face kind of moment. Yep, it was a slap yourself in the face moment. See, again, the curbs at this first chicane claiming. No, Victor, we do need a curb chicane murder count at this point, don't we? Now look at this. This is Daniel Tomlinson, Martin Thorpe, and Johnny Ashley. All three cars fighting away. Penalty for car 20, a 20-second penalty for car 22. Just trying to figure out who that is. That is third place, Ben Brown. Third place in GT4 has got a 20-second penalty on top of, I think, a 5-second penalty, or is that a success penalty? But
that would be success.
That would be success. Third place has got a penalty there for something, and if you can enlighten me.
It was for the incident between himself, Martin Thorpe, and what was car 51. And I'm not sure if that's car 56 and car 51. Were involved within it as well. I know one of them was Martin Thorpe. My brain fails me what the other car was at the time. I think it might have been Matt Jordan.
Quite potentially.
It was the incident we saw where there was a little bit of a sandwich moment. And they all.
Oh gosh, yes. Yep, I am with you. Let's jump back up the order a little bit because we do have a battle. And it's the Fear Nothing Moto driver trying to get past Chris Martin of PS UK Esports. It's McLaren versus Ferrari. Chris Martin in very similar liveries there. I've always got confused between the two. I'm like, nope, that is definitely PS UK Esports. I think they actually have a completely different livery to that. I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, it is their livery. But red, white, and black cars, very similar liveries to them both. But Chris Martin able now to pull a gap to Tyler there,
and has put a car between them. So Tyler McLeod will be held up into the final chicane. Oh, he's gone off ahead. Chris Martin's run across the gravel trap, and he's actually hasn't lost out too much considering he just skipped the whole final part of the chicane. He went straight across the gravel trap, and you can see the gap has closed down between the pair of them now, and Chris Martin's going to have to going to have to go very defensive now, and it looks like the McLaren's putting under pressure, and it looks like he's got a whole lot more grip under those tyres, considering he's been on the circuit, and the Ferrari has not been. As they now run down towards turn 3, though, it looks like Chris Martin's held off the pressure for now, and I don't think McLeod's not going to go for a move in the next couple of corners at least. No,
absolutely. So, looks like he's got away with it, but he will no doubt continue still under threat from Tyler. Almost 35 minutes ago, I think one of the pit windows opens in about a couple of minutes' time. So, which will be, I believe, the GT3's first pit window. It's pit window 10 minutes, but within the first 5 minutes, every GT3 has to pit, and the second 5 minutes, every GT4 has to pit. So, split windows for each class, but one longer 10-minute window will open very shortly.
So yeah, it might be worth Chris. Well, I mean, it'll probably be good for Chris Martin to just try and hold him off until that pit window, and then try and split themselves up from one another by pitting on a few different laps. Anyway, we're coming to Marco Lipo Zenchik here in his Porsche, currently having a fight with. Actually, that's one of the Aston Martins. That might be. Oh, I'm not sure who that is. Is that I believe it's Petter Jelinek now. The time screen is updated. It is.
Yes. It is Petter Jelinek. Up ahead of him now have a GT4 car as Tiger Hoffman's getting out of the way. Oh, that's mighty sketchy, and that's given Petter Jelinek a reason to try and go up the inside.
Yeah, he took all the curb he could there, Petter Jelinek, but couldn't carry the momentum around the corner there to take anything to Lipo Zenchik there. And he's just actually going to hold on, and Petter Jelinek, going right around the outside, but finds himself under pressure, I believe, now from one of the Porsches, I think, but I think that's Noel Deutsch. Oh, potentially, but I assume there's a lap between. Yeah, no. Yes. It was the white Porsche. I think it's Noel Deutsch. if yeah. Yeah, pit window just opening at the, well, I think around the 35-minute mark, well, actually at the 35-minute mark there. So the cars coming into the pit lane, and as you can see, all the GT3 timing screen is, well, massively updating as we come back to a replay. What's this, Aiden? Ooh. Yeah, not much split strategy today. Last time we did see some drivers, even though it's such a short 5-minute pit window for each car, saw drivers going earlier and later within that 5 minutes. So a lot of cars coming in at the same time at the moment. And as you can see, one of the things the F1 teams didn't like about this circuit was the tight pit lanes. And well, today there's going to be a lot of cars in at the same time, so that's going to be interesting. Actually, something that's probably worth looking at as well, where it has, so Reigns has come out in 7th, and Elmar Kurbanov has come out ahead of him. So that's already one evident moment from the success balance, not success balance, success time in the pit lane being put on. No, not John Lloyd doesn't have any. I think, let me have a look through the field to see where the others come out. Obviously, it's. I can't actually see. Well, Gregory Ivanov's come out in around a 19th position. Will probably go ahead of Alex Shabi again. And I'm looking for the final driver, but I can't see them. Oh, there it is. Matt High has come out in 8th position with the success, and he had some success penalty. And with the lap, how long it takes to get around this lap, I'd say this is his last opportunity to come into the pit lane. So he must come in now, must Andy King, and he does. He's into the pit lane for PS UK Esports, and that is our last GT3 in. And just any minute now, well, probably at the end of this lap, I'd say it'd be time for the GT4s, maybe. Oh, penalty for Ray Shaw Thompson as well. I'm sure that just popped up, the 30-second penalty for him.
That's interesting, folks. I think I was muted on OBS as I was talking.
Oh.
For all that time.
Ah.
I think I was muted, so my wonderful co-commentator could hear me.
Oh.
But none of you could. Yes, you 100% right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I must have just knocked a button. As we were just talking all about the pit stops and everything that was happening between the cars, and Tucker Hoffman's in the lead of GT3. It's not yet to pit. We were just saying about some of the GT3 cars who were coming up to the end of their laps at the 5 minute. It was the Johnny Ashley battle you were just spectating. Top go 30. Alright, quit it all you. I talk, I click, and it may sometimes point. That's another story. As everyone is still going now, car number 3, Ralph Vest, in 9th position, I've just noticed, has picked up a 10-second penalty. So, dies pit stop. What will happen is losing my train of thought there. Ralph Vest has got a penalty. Doesn't have to do another pit stop, but Tal3S, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Welcome to the stream. As making a point of that, Ralph Vest having a penalty without a pit stop to serve it in will be added to his end result. So Ollie Knowles is chasing for position, quite rightly so, but doesn't. It has essentially already got the position with the penalty being applied there to Ralph. So we'll fight for position just to make his way up the field, but he has already got this 9th place all tied up if he stays within 10 seconds. But still, about 25 minutes left of the race. Still plenty of time to go. We do have a yellow flag. That's Terrell Hubbard. I'm going to try and get a favourable camera angle.
He's hiding from us. He's behind the bush. Oh, there he is.
There he is. He has got into a very awkward position. Is able to rejoin. And 3rd place in GT4 has got a 10-second penalty. He's off again.
Just seemed to lose the rear there around turn 4. And, oh dearie me. Oh, be careful, Terrell Hubbard there as the Porsche has to change to the inside. So he's going to have Noel Deutsch coming past him any second now. So as they go through the chicane, the white Porsche we should see coming through. But actually, it doesn't look like the McLarens are struggling too much, considering it just had that little off into the inside tyre wall at the exit of turn 4. But he still seems to be going on. But Noel George is actually very quickly now closing up around this section of the circuit, and Noel's is going to go through on the inside there and move done by Noel George.
And then there's Terrell Hubbard, last place in GT3 class, the McLaren of the. Oh no, I do apologise. That is 226. So that is one of the leaders lapping. However, there has been notarised contact between Ollie Knowles and Ralph Vest. What's happened there? 1-1-1 in car 3. And there's a couple of GT4 cars there fighting. That's a very damaged car of Martin Thorpe. And Johnny Ashley right behind him. They get out of the way there. But what happened? There was contact between 3 and 1-1-1. They were following some traffic here. Now there's a BMW up ahead. The BMW successfully makes his way past both back markers. I do wonder if he was late on the brakes. Tries round the outside. Oh, there's just a little bit of a nudge there.
Yeah, just a little bit of kind of a nibble, and could have been a lot worse, but it all kind of fixed itself there.
Thank goodness. As Johnny Ashley getting passed now by some GT3s. That's Petr Jalek. Don't hit the oNiD driver. You are the community owner, Johnny. Set a good example. As Chris Martin's off.
And he's off in a big way. I can't tell where that is. I think that's nearer the end of the lap, I think.
Oh, and that's a quick session.
Oh, dearie me.
What car number was he?
I can tell you which team.
I would need a car number, annoyingly, so I wouldn't want to get that on replay. I think he's 164.
Oh, he's in the background there. You just saw in the background. He's gone. I think that's an issue because he's literally at turn 8 there. He's just gone straight on like he's not even braking for the corner. So I think that was maybe a brake or throttle stick failure on his sim, potentially.
I was trying to see if I could find a replay, but annoyingly, I can't. The replay only shows you car numbers. Notarized contact potentially here though between the Janetta and the car. Oh, that's a spin.
And it gets collected by one of the Aston Martins there. Then I think that might have been actually Chris Martin there, maybe earlier in that, doing some avoiding of those guys. Christian Berkeley we're following now, currently in 4th position for Fry Guys Motorsports with oNiD, and is doing alright. Currently 6 seconds. Well, he's kind of in a bit of a no man's land here. Currently 6 seconds behind the car ahead, and 4 seconds separates him to the car behind as well. So all he can do is really push on at the moment, and hope to find the rest of the field with 22 minutes 35 seconds to go in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump back down to the GT4 class. There's a battle for 4th and 3rd here. Matt Jordan on the tail of Aidan Oak here. That Camaro making inroads, but he's got GT3s wanting to get past those, so he's going to have to be careful. He's actually picked up a 5-second penalty, but Aidan Oak ahead of him has got 10 seconds, so this kind of negates it out basically. So they are racing for position. That's a very nice move. Over under. Gets to drive through the corner. And that is move done. As those GT3 cars that just passed them were Van Ooselen and Oliver Knowles. Prototypo versus oNiD Fry Guys. And they were quite close to each other going through turn 1. They still are quite close together for 9th and 8th overall.
Will he be able to try and be in Senate? No, he's way too far back to try anything into there. Actually, he runs a little bit deep there, though, does Wilbert Van Ooselen, and that's brought Oliver Knowles right onto the rear. So maybe into the final section here, maybe he could try something. He's looking to the right, now looking to the left. There's a little bit of a think about it, but obviously it doesn't feel like he's close enough, and he's pushing the BMW through that section of the circuit. So Wilbert Van Ooselen under a lot of pressure here from the Prototypo racing car of Oliver Knowles as they run down the start-finish straight. Can he get the move done? It's a bit of an interesting corner to do it in, and he's not got close enough, so he's going to have to follow him through these next few to see if he can pressure the BMW into making any mistakes. Takes a bit of a tight line compared to the BMW, just trying to keep himself in the mirrors. Remind the Fry Guys car of Van Ooselen that he's there, but again, he's still not close enough, and well, he's going to get a great run out of this corner. But the issue is they're now coming up to the clean chicane up ahead, and while that is not as we've said many times, and we've seen evidently, is not an overtaking spot.
It is not. No, we are, however, going to jump down to Alex Shahibi for the battle of the lead of the GT4 class. Tygo Hoffman's Alex Shahibi, Matt Jordan in that Chevy Camaro 3rd position, 28 seconds off this battle. So obviously the Chevy isn't as good, or he's just been just being caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think it's the second of the two you've just suggested. I think these guys are the only two to really have a clean race in that GT4 class, and that's why it's come down to the two of them here, even though they've both come into this round with success penalties. So as we now come into turn 1, much later on the brakes is Alex Shahabi, and he's able to turn the car in with ease, but he's going to have to let past that Porsche. Either of trying to think who that is. I think it might be Manders or
989. It is Nick Manders getting past.
Yeah. So Manders goes on through, and that's helped Thiago Hoffman's here, because it's pushed the Aston Martin a bit back coming onto the straight. as they now come down to a clean chicane. So really, we're in a bit of a circuit where he's going to have to just sit behind and apply some pressure at the moment. Is Alex Shabi, and it's just they both now come up the hill. He's getting ever so close. He's inching and inching closer to this McLaren. Tergo Hoffmans has just got to keep a cool head. This is to stop Alex Shabi going for back-to-back wins here. The McLaren driver is trying to do. And now we ride on board with the race 1 winner, and we'll have to wait and see. It could be maybe an opportunity into turn 8 here, but I think he's a little bit too far back. He thinks about it, looks out, then returns to the racing line into the braking zone. Again, taking much more curb compared to the McLaren running up ahead of him, but it still isn't really close enough, I don't think, to try anything into the final couple of corners here. So it just seems like the McLaren has some legs to defend at the moment.
I'm going to jump back to the GT3 class. There's a little couple of micro kind of pockets of battles here. It's 13th and 12th fighting away, and then there's a battle for 11th and 10th, about 10 seconds ahead of these two guys. So Ralph Vest in 11th, however, car 3's got a penalty, is closing on Petr Janilek. I say that, the gap's now extended to 1 second. It was about 0.4, 0.3 of a second. For whatever reason, he's now dropped back again. We'll stick with this battle for a little while. I'm also going to keep an eye on the lead battle for the GT4, so that was heating up. Most notably, leader of GT3 and second of GT3, not too far away either, 1.3 seconds between David Grains and Elmar Kurbanov.
And it was lower than that as well. Currently on my version of the timing screen, it said there was 0.6, now 0.9 between them. So not much separating these two. Obviously, David Grains had the qualifying pace in the current Teams Championship, leading NSX, and wants to one overall race win against Elmar Kurbanov. Obviously, those guys have been very quick in the Lukoil Racing Esports Ferraris so far. So FNM will want to have a decent result, and this will be great for his championship. Currently, probably even the position he's in at the moment, he will be the championship leader leaving this round with David Grains. So might as well add a cherry onto that cake with a race win as well, if he can just, on this very hard to overtake circuit, if he can just find his way past Elmar Kurbanov.
Hampius, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the dying moments of the oNiD Season 2 Week 2 race here at Zolder for the oNiD QRT Multi-Class Cup for it's been quite an entertaining race. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. Kurbanov leading away from Grains in the GT3 class. About 17.5 seconds behind them is Matt High in third, so there's a bit of traffic here for these guys now. That GT4 Mercedes slowing up David and opening the gap once more, and gives a bit of a breathing space to Kurbanov in the lead. There is a battle happening for...
and that was very close there between the GT4 and Elmar Kurbanov. Luckily, I don't really know how. Luckily, the bottom of the Ferrari just kind of nearly slicing the rear end of the Chevrolet, but no contact made. And also good news for Elmar Kurbanov, it's his teammate running up ahead of him here. So his teammate Gregory Ivanov I imagine should get out of the race straight away. And then, but he might have it off in front of him, and he does. So he goes off in front of his teammate. Luckily, keeps on the circuit, will slow down to let him past, and then can kind of, maybe cleverly take this section a little bit slower, so it will maybe slow up Grains behind. So Grains now catching Gregory Ivanov to lap, and we'll have to see how this one plays out. Already flashing the lights because he's in a lead battle. He wants to get this Ferrari out of the way as quickly as he can, but we'll have to wait and see. Can he get through? So now, as we come out of this section, coming now up to the final couple of corners, will Gregory Ivanov get out of the way on this straight? The NSX looks to the left, but then goes back to his racing line, and then out of the final couple of corners, the Ferrari goes a little bit slower. Isn't really holding the NSX up too much, and now Ivanov gets out of the way and lets Grains go through and resume his lead battle with the Ferrari's teammate.
Gets away with it. Teammates in on the track, but sadly a tale of two different stories. Ivanov, a shocking start to the race, having got his drive-through for starting on the front row, let's not forget. Getting a drive-through for being out of position for the start procedure. And there's a penalty for car 119. Who in the world is getting penalties this later on in the race? It's Luke Sherlock. Set 8th in. Oh, it's contact!
That's Gregory Ivanov, though. Luckily, it's Ivanov. It's not the race leader. So Ivanov still, he's raced. Well, they say bad things always come in threes, and well, that's the third incident he's had this race. So hopefully that will be the last one for poor Gregory. And now hopefully he can, with the remainder 13 minutes of this race, can just settle in and try and, well, stay out the wars. Anyway, Andy King now, it seems to be stuck, well, in a little bit of a sandwich here. I think that's Noel Deutsch running up behind. So that's a car on a different lap to him running behind. And he's currently fighting with Lipo Zenchik in the Porsche running ahead of him. So this is a battle for 13th position between the pair of them. PS UK Esports currently is the only car in the race after Chris Martin's exit earlier on after, well, I'd say suspected some sort of wheel issue at the speed he went up the circuit.
I think so as well. It was a definite disconnect of sorts, a technical issue. Just looked like he went straight on at the final hairpin, basically.
Yeah, so the sole car in this round now, and they were 11th position. Oh. And now Noel George is going to unlap himself from the pair of them. He's looking to the inside, but actually smartly gets out of it because he knows, well, if he goes side by side interior, it's not going to end well.
No, it's not in the slightest. Penalty for car 52, 5 seconds. That will be added to the end of their race.
It's getting feisty here, and around the outside goes Andy King, but he can't find his way through because there's a Janetta on the inside. So Lipo Zenchik holds it, and he tries to go down the inside. That would have been a move and a half if he'd been able to get alongside. But was really just too far back to really try any move into there. But is putting Lipo Zenchik under a lot of pressure. It's the PS UK Esports Ferrari, the 12 car. This is for 13th position. Now going to try and send it around the outside and then go to the switchback. So we'll have the inside line now for turn one. They both head into the braking zone, and the Porsche squeezes the Ferrari to the inside. Then the Ferrari pushes the Porsche to the outside, and the move is done. Andy King up to 13th position for now, as he has to now try and dispatch the two leaders in the GT4 class of Thiago Hoffmann and new race leader in the GT4 class, Alex Shahabi.
Move done for the race lead of the GT4s, and that is Shahabi in the lead. That is a very good point. Yeah,
so this will be back-to-back wins if Alex Shahabi can hold on for now. But a lot of GT3s around the pair of them, and well, if he gets caught in the wrong spot, and is like as I just say, it could all end up in the wall, as it nearly did.
It very almost did. That's going to close the gap up between Shahabi and Hoffmann.
But Thiago Hoffmann still seems he doesn't have that outright place that Alex Shahabi has, and that's an offer. Tel Hubbard in the Apex Driving School, number 36 McLaren 720S. What's gone on there? I think that's his third off of the race. So as I said earlier, hopefully that's his last one, because there's bad things all coming free.
I think this was just another kind of punch yourself in the gut moments. Indeed it was. Oh, it went flying. First class ticket to Zolder Airlines.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I read it's a boating port as well, so you don't want an airport there. So as we follow David Grain, still hunting down the race leader. Currently is the driver with the fastest lap in this race. Gregory Ivanov still not too far back from this battle, even though he is technically a lapped car in this. But David Grain's in the NSX. Nice to see one of them running at the front of the field. Not a car we normally see running at the front here at oNiD, but nice to see a little bit of a mix-up with the front-running manufacturers. And well, he's weaving behind. Look, he's just kind of going out into the where Elmar Kurbanov can see him in his mirrors, just to apply some of that, a little bit of intimidation to the Ferrari driver as the gap closes. And that Jeanette is not in a great spot for either of them. The Ferrari goes through, but it is going to hold up the NSX of David Grains, F&M championship leaders in teams, and will be most likely championship leaders in the drivers' standings as well with David Grains after this round. And that Jeanette was in a bad spot, and it has opened that gap up a little bit. Now 1.2 seconds separates them.
Dearest Tom, can you do me a favour? I think we've got about 8 and a bit minutes left, but can you tell me where we are next week?
Let me have a look for you.
Have a gander for me. Let me know, because I'm such a good streamer.
Actually, no, I know where it is. I'm pretty sure we're at Donington Park, because it is our first of our 90-minute rounds of the season. We've had our first two 60-minute rounds, and we have two 90-minute rounds this season, and the first one being next weekend at Donington Park.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah.
Good old Donny. A fantastic British track. I brag about it all the time.
Yes.
No reasons why. I'm sorry, I'm biased.
It's not like you have any association to it or anything.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. You may find me there sometimes dressed up in orange and pushing off crashed cars. We'll leave that story for another day. As we've got about just over 7.5 minutes left, and lead for GT3 still undecided. Gap extended a little bit because of traffic. David Lane's got to do a bit of driving to make up the time.
Yeah, and actually it looks like Elmar Kurbanov is being held up by some traffic now, so the favour being returned. I think that's him overtaking Lipo Zenchik, running down in 14th position. So I think that's him getting out of the way. Oh, he goes off the circuit. He's gone straight on at turn 8. That's very generous of him, giving the car leaders all the room in the world to get past him. But now that's going to put him under pressure from Noel Deutsch. But luckily a lap separates those two as well. So now again we come on to start finish straight. That gap has come down to half a second. So half a second between coming down there. So less than a second separates these two, so the battle is back on for David Grains, and let's see if he can apply any pressure to our racing. Oh, it's all going on under the bridge, and his contact sideways goes Oliver Knowles, and that is the Fry Guys car of Wilbert Van Oezenen going through. So obviously struggling with the traffic. They're still side by side as they come out turn 7. Contact again, and after being sideways moments ago, Oliver Knowles remakes the position, and sideways goes Wilbert Van Oezenen. Luckily he saves the little wriggle he had, and they all stay on the circuit. That could have gone a lot worse.
It could have done. Let's jump to Helicam just to see what happened here. Splitting the difference. Trying to get up the inside. Oh! And then rejoins and then makes contact.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been so much worse. Amazing save there from Oliver Knowles. That could have been race-ending contact. He was completely sideways, but great correctional driving there to keep his car heading in the right direction. And, well, he now continues on, but he has fallen behind. Yeah, so what's gone on there?
He's got caught up. Another yellow flag, I think. There was potentially, as the replay does eventually buffer for us, as gets to, I think it might have just been a mistake by him himself. Oh, there's an instant up ahead. Oh, he goes wide, and the race contact. That's a big shunt.
Yeah, that's massive contact. Is that our race leader? Is that Alex Shahabi? Oh no, it's not. It's not Alex Shahabi. I'm sorry. I think Martin Thorpe had that damage fixed, because it looked like the front end of Alex Shahabi's car off the circuit, but it mustn't have been. Who in the
world was that?
I think it was Martin Thorpe instead of Alex Shahabi off the circuit. Well, one of the cars off the circuit. What the other car was, I know who it is. Give me 2 seconds. I think it was Ty Kalovic.
Car 99, yeah. It was car 99. We'll see what happened here. Maybe came across a bit too soon to take the racing line. Didn't realise the GT4 was still there. And indeed, that's the case.
And poor Martin Thorpe had already had that damage just fixed.
I know.
Extremely unlucky for Martin Thorpe. But luckily, they all continue on running together. Thorpe sadly not great for the current championship leaders. He's running well, I think he's running. Yeah, he is. He's running last in the GT4 standings, so that is not good for Consexus. One car at the front of the field, one car at the back of the field. So it really is a Consexus sandwich.
I'm happy to report they did manage to navigate the final chicane successfully this time round as we jump back to live pictures. With just under 4 minutes to go, lead battle for the GT4s still very much on. As the camera just about catches up. Hoffman's has not let this go.
Time for 20 as well. I don't know who car 20 is.
Car
296.
296. That is Matt Jordan, P4 in GT4.
So not good for not good for Matt Jordan. He was in at the end of qualifying. He looked in a great position to fight for the race, winning this race, but it just hasn't, like a lot of the GT4 class, been able to keep this race consistent. And that time penalty is really just going to worsen his day. With Ben Brown's is about 2 seconds behind him, and then you've got Daniel Tomlinson's about 12 seconds back, and then I think he'd slot in just ahead of Luke Sherlock, so he's going to at least drop down to 6th position. As it stands, he's going to drop down to at least 6th position in the GT4s.
Yeah, absolutely. Lead battle for GT4s is ongoing. I can tell you also, lead battle for the GT3s is mighty close as well. I'm not entirely sure where to look. I think I'm going to be safe. Yellow flag for the leaders!
They've made contact, and that's teammates. That's the Lukoil Racing Esports teammates. They've come together. Elmar Kurbanov and Gregory Ivanov. It seems like they've made contact, and that is absolutely disastrous. But, I mean, we're still going to see the replay. It could have just been the aftermath of the accident that they've got involved with one another. But that is a disaster for Lukoil Racing. Both cars, well, one of them facing the wrong direction and kind of having a little bit of a car smooch.
Oh, this is not the right replay, but it has also been an accident in car 36. We'll jump back to car 8 in a moment, as this just popped up as I was about to click the car 36. That's the leaders of GT4. What's happened here? Oh!
It's another incident where the GT3's just come across in front of the GT4 in the braking zone, and he's just gone speared straight into the back. And, well, Elmar Kurbanov, luckily, seems to have had another advantage, I think, to hold on. Yeah, has held on to 2nd position. So, even after whatever's gone on there, he's still been able to hold on.
Right, this is what happened with Elmar. He's going to go into turn 1, and there's a nudge. That was the race leader. Was that the race? It was.
Yeah, David Grain's going straight into the back of the race leader. So that's going to be a bit of one that I assume another one that's going to be looked at by a live shooting team, because that was contact between the top 2 in the GT3 standings. We come back to it, as you can see. Gregory Ivanov has involved himself again within this battle, even though he's technically a lap down compared to these two. But we'll have to wait and see what happens here. It's the GT4. I think. Grains isn't expecting to the Fries to put the power on, doesn't, and just when he applies the power, just runs straight into the back of the Lukoil Racing Esports 8 car. So still running a 2nd position, but at the moment it looks like it's what could have been
10 seconds off. Yeah, 10 seconds off. There's a drive through for 99 that's now been cleared. So we didn't pick that up. That would have been for track limits.
And, well, this is going to be interesting, because only 18 seconds now to go in this race. This might be an after race thing.
It may be an after race thing. If you watched F1 today, there was a certain after race thing as well. We're definitely following suit here as well, as this will be the last lap. David Grains all getting very wide. Yeah,
going all rallycross style is David Grains. But it looks like for now, it looks like David Grains is going to move to the championship lead, and is going to lead both the overall standings and the driver standings as well. So only a couple more corners to go, and it looks like David Grains is going to win here at Zolder in round 2 of the oNiD X QRT Multi-Class Team Cup. Here comes David Grains to win round 2 as he comes across the line. Well done, David Grains. a bit of an interesting drive, but he comes across the line to take victory with fastest lap as well, and comes across the run. Elmar Kurbanov will be wondering what could have been, was leading for from the pit stops, but it didn't all go his way today, sadly. It looks like Matt High has just finished in second, and a replay.
Bit of an incident here between a GT4 and GT3 car. 99 getting tangled up with, I believe that is Matt Jordan 296. And I think there's just a little bit of a nudge. Oh, that's a bit of a yeah, that was definitely a bit of a nudge. Leader for GT4, however, is about to come across the line. Alex Shahabi takes the race win there. But what could have been for Tygo Hoffmans? Does see the checkered flag, but caught up in an incident of his own. Well, I'd say an incident of his own. He and I was lapping GT3, and I think he just got caught out how late or how early he brakes. But a flash of the lights, and both GT4s are going to go side by side, just as a nudge of appreciation to both, and a bit of a wiggle in front of them, just to say congratulations, that was a good race, well done. Third place for GT4, however, still undecided. Matt Jordan not quite making it, but that'll be P3 for Aidan Oak and Matt Jordan in P4. Where is Ben Brown? I think Ben actually might get P3 with penalties are being applied after the race, and indeed he does. Ben Brown, your P3 finisher for GT4, because of the penalties of Aidan Oak and Matt Jordan, gets there. Well. That was interesting for sure, as I'm not quite sure what to think about that, really. Awesome, and everything's just crashed. Oh,
hello.
Computer went no for a minute because the server disconnected, and my PC went, there's no server. I don't know what to do. We are back. This took a minute for my PC to figure out what the hell was going on.
What I wanted to point out just before we had that brief issue, the GT4s have literally ended that race in the exact same order the top three finished at Laguna Seca as well. So all three drivers will have the same success penalty going into the next round. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad news for them, but they'll have to serve some times at their pit stops again.
No, absolutely. Ben Brown, I'm not sure if I mentioned before we briefly cut off there, but Ben Brown getting up into third because of the penalties for Jordan and Thompson. So, congratulations Ben Brown, P3. Great drive from him in the Mercedes-Benz. But wow! Didn't know where to look at points. That was certainly interesting. And there we go, the ACC has officially crashed on me. It didn't like being booted out of the server when it disconnected. Folks, next week we are at Donington for the third round of the oNiD and QRT Multiclass Team Cup of 2024. Lots of brake fade today, apparently. No idea if they changed the brake. There was a small update, I know that. There was only a hot fix on May the 15th, according to my update notes on Steam. There's only a small patch. I don't know. You might want to try and check your setup in case you had the wrong brake pads on, potentially. But we're just waiting for Tom to come back because, of course, everything sent Discord crazy as well. So we're just waiting for my Discord to reconnect to go back to Tom. Hello, Tom. Apologies. My Discord just threw a hissy fit because of everything that just happened there. But we are. We're at Donington next week. Which will be interesting.
We are.
90-minute race instead of our usual 60-minute. One of two 1 hour 30-minute races we have for this championship. It should be a good one.
Yeah, our second one being in Misano at the end of the championship. So yeah, going into third round, 9-minute rounds, and yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it all changes. And yeah, that was another really interesting race. A lot going up for us to keep an eye on. And yeah, I think what really worked well was how the first 2 rounds of the championship have been really 2 circuits with oNiD we haven't really visited for a while, Laguna Seca and Zolder. And I think it's really made some interesting racing with drivers. Well, obviously they might race another series, but if they're just with us, drivers be learning the circuit, and yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully, going into next week, we'll prove a bit more kinder for overtaking and lapping and cars getting past each other.
It is a bit of it's a classic English circuit though. Not much runoff on the outside of the circuit, and not. Maybe a little bit tricky sometimes to overtake around there as well. So we'll have to see how that plays out next week, and we'll have to see how our drivers fare with an extra half an hour around.
Yeah, absolutely. Half hour more racing, half hour more worth of opportunities there for drivers to make moves or whether that be passing cars positions or into the gravel. We will find out next week, same time, same place. It's been a pleasure to bring you tonight's round here for the X QRT Team Cup. Tomorrow we are live again. Myself and Dominic Baruch will bring you all the truck racing on AC Mondays, and then following that on Tuesday night we will have myself and Ben Myatt take into the comms booth for what will be the next round of the AMS2 Championship. Until then, folks, it's been a pleasure. Tom, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time this evening, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.